Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I am going to do another video, hey Harley, on boxing up a painting to ship in the most economical way that I have found. And a lot of people don't know that you can really kind of make your own box if you don't have the perfect size. I'm going to give you some pointers and tips. And if you have something that's under, say, 11 by 14, 12 by 12, you can get free these. It's a priority box, but it's not a flat rate box. It just means it's going priority mail, which is usually 2 days service. And you can usually ship in a box this size up to 2 paintings or a couple of small paintings that are smaller than 12 by 12s, a couple of 11 by 14s. The box is about 13 inches by 3 inches by 15 or so inches. And I use these all the time. And you can go to USPS.com and go to their supplies and look for this box, which I will put the exact measurements in the link below the video. And you can find this box, and if I can put the exact link, I will. But you can ship usually almost anywhere in the United States for $10, $15 at the most, depending on if it's California or really across the United States, because I'm in North Carolina. So just making sure that's in frame there. But I use these all the time for smaller paintings. I also will cut them down because they come in packs of 25 or so, and I order multiple packs because I do a lot of shipping. I will cut them apart and use them as support around my canvases when I ship them. So like, here's a stack of boxes, and if I need cardboard to put around my canvases, I'm going to sometimes use these 3 boxes in order to protect my canvases. But today we're going to box up an 18 by 24 canvas. Here's my 18 by 24 canvas. It's painted, it's sealed, it's signed, and I'm going to ship a free print and a little note and my business card with it. So I'll just tuck that in behind the painting. And I always use parchment paper. You can get it on a roll from the grocery store. So it's the same width, 15 inches across. You can get it on a roll. The only problem with the parchment paper on a roll is no tape will stick to it. No matter what kind of tape you try, it's not going to stick because there is a film on it that keeps it from sticking to anything. That's why you can bake it in the oven and all that. But if you get parchment paper from a restaurant supplier, I got these on eBay actually. They're more expensive, but you can get it in bulk. And you can get like a couple of 100 sheets at a time, get the smallest quantity you need. Mine literally came in a shipping box, just kind of folded up like a couple of 100 sheets. It wasn't in a professional box or anything, but these sheets, the tape will stick to it. So I recommend getting the restaurant parchment paper just because you can use tape with it. So what I always do is I always put parchment paper on the front side, bare minimum, of a canvas to protect the pour, the gloss finish, even if it's resined, anything. I do not put bubble wrap or cardboard or brown craft paper. I only use parchment paper because it will not stick to any of your surfaces. I have shipped one time and I put bubble wrap around it with nothing between it, and when she received it, it had the little circles on the gloss varnish from the bubble wrap, and she had to put another coat of varnish on it. So I learned that time a long time ago, and I've shipped hundreds of paintings since then. So here's my quick tip, is just to, for a bigger canvas, I have to use 2 sheets, and I just overlap them a little bit, but I like a little overlap on either end of the painting and both sides, so I kind of just center it about where I want it, and then I just take a piece of tape just to kind of hold it there in place. Okay, then I turn it over. All of your painted edges that are finished with varnish, or whether they have any varnish or not, they're all covered with the parchment paper. And see, even with this paper, sometimes the tape will come up, but it will generally hold. And then for extra precaution, I put a piece of cardboard on either side of my painting to protect it. But I'm going to show you how I use this cardboard. I go to Walmart, and they've got small, medium, large, and I think even extra large boxes. And then anything besides the largest box at Walmart, you can go to a large U-Haul store, and they will have TV boxes that you can use. So let me show you. This one is a large. It's 22 by 18 by 18. My painting is 18 by 24, so this is perfect for my painting. But what I do before I do anything else, because I know that my shorter width is 18 inches, the length is 24 inches. So you pick the shorter of the 2 measurements, so that would be 18, and you make sure that the width of your box is at least 18 inches, which this one is, so it's the perfect size for the width. I can now make it any length I want it as well. Okay? So what you do is you find the seam they're on the 4 corners of the box. When you open it out, there's going to be a seam that is glued, because there's, you know, it's one piece that they fold, and they have to glue it at one portion to keep it together. So let me do this with my right hand. I cut that seam right there, and then I go to the next corner, totally cut this piece off. You only need 3 sides of the box, and I'll show you why in a minute. So there's my 3 sides. So now I'm going to use this piece as the other side. This was from another box I had cut previously. So I'm going to use this as my pattern, and I just know that I need another piece exactly this size, so I just lay it down. Otherwise, you lay your canvas on top of the piece of board or cardboard, and then you just use a pencil. You don't want to use your razor knife up beside a canvas. You don't want to take the chance of cutting your canvas. So you just cut your piece of cardboard using the other piece, or just make your, mark it off with a pencil and measure it. So I now have 2 18 by 24 boards, cardboard, that is now going to protect my painting. So I lay the painting down between the 2 pieces of cardboard. I do this with all of my paintings that I ship. Even with bubble wrap around it, I still do this for extra protection to support it, so that if it's inside the box, and say the box that it's inside of got punctured accidentally in the shipment process, you'd still have a piece of cardboard protecting your canvas painting. So then what I do is I just sandwich the painting between the 2 pieces of cardboard. So now it's between the two pieces of cardboard like a sandwich. Extra protection. There's two things you can do. I always get my bubble wrap. The cheapest I have found is at Walmart. You get a size that is this big. It's got, I don't know how many feet. It's 12 inches across, and then it's super, super long. I can do many, many paintings with this bubble wrap. I don't use a ton of bubble wrap, but I do go around and wrap my paintings with the bubble wrap. The other option is you buy just a small swimming noodle. So you know the long, skinny swimming noodles, the skinny ones, not the chunky ones. And you slice one side like that. And then what I've done is I've cut it into 4 pieces. So I can either put bubble wrap around the painting, or you can actually just stick the noodle. There's 2 options. I'm just showing you both options. I'm going to put bubble wrap around this one, but I want you to see how you can do this as well. So you can do this and put it in your box, and it's going to leave a distance between the box, the way it's cut, and you know, the width of the noodles. So that is an option, and you could put it in a box that this fits in perfectly. So that is an option, but I am going to use bubble wrap. I'm going to show you how I typically send all of my paintings. I have done this a few times, but not many. I've shipped hundreds of paintings, and I like to use the bubble wrap. Because you're using the pre-made box from Walmart, and the width is 18 by 22, this is an 18 by 24 canvas. The shortest distance is the 18 inches, so it's going to fit perfectly into where the normal folds of the box are. So what I want to do is I want to bubble wrap it lengthwise so I don't add any extra width to my painting, because when I put it in the box, I really want to not have extra inches on either side of this, because this is going to fit into my box perfectly. So I'm going to wrap my bubble wrap lengthwise. On one end, stay. Start on one end. Tape it just to hold it. And I wrap. And I go at a little bit of an angle so that it kind of moves over. So now it's kind of in the middle. And then I move over a little bit more. So it's kind of on the right side of the painting. So I go around, you know, at least 3 to 4 times. And then I just take a piece of tape on the end and just secure it firmly. So that's enough bubble wrap to really kind of protect it. Plus you have the cardboard. Again, I'm not going to do the sides because I don't want extra inches. It's okay if I've got another inch or 2 on the end, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. I am going to just tape this bubble wrap on the sides just to keep it secure. All right. So here comes the fun part. I take my Walmart box and I put it with the writing side inside, not outside. So I don't want any of this Walmart logo stuff and all that to show. We're going to make our box for the painting to go in with the blue ink on the inside. That way the whole outside of the box is just going to be brown. Okay? So what I do is I line it up And I'm going to switch angles on my camera here. You have a ruler, a pen, and your razor knife. And you bring the end of your painting to that first corner of the box. And you fold it up. And you take your pen and you just mark a little above the bubble wrap, maybe about a ½ inch. Okay? So that is going to be our measurement that we're going to use around the whole painting. So I'm going to take it, and usually what I do is I measure in centimeters, just because it's a little more accurate than inches for this type of thing. So this is 5 centimeters, and I just mark 5 centimeters from the fold, and then I go back and I draw myself a line. Okay, this is going to be my next fold, because here's the first fold and we need that second fold to fold over the top of the painting. So I'm going to take my razor knife and very slightly, I'm not going all the way through, I'm just kind of scoring the top surface. You don't want to go all the way through and cut the cardboard, you just want to score it. You could even use maybe the edge of a scraper, a metal scraper. I just use my razor knife, but you just do it very gently. You don't go through the whole cardboard. Okay, so now you press right where you just cut, and this now folds exactly square over your painting. Okay? So that's the first thing you do. All right. Now I'm going to move my painting away. And on either side where this fold mark is, that the box has already been made, I am going to mark, let me move the box a little bit. I'm going to mark that 5 centimeters. I can actually just do one piece and use it as a pattern, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's mark this one, 5 centimeters. And I'm going to cut all the way through on this one in a straight line. I didn't press super hard because I'm cutting on my granite. I cut that one crooked. All right, so that's not a good one. We're going to do another one. So let's draw the line so you can see what you're cutting, which I didn't do on the last one. And then I'm going to cut through. You don't have to have a straight edge or anything. Okay, here's my pattern. So I've got 2. We'll be doing 6 of these because we've got 3 sides of the box, right? So I'm going to take it here, put it right up to the edge of the cardboard on the outside, and cut this same 5 centimeters. All right. So this whole side is cut. Now I'm going to take my pattern. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. I'm going to put my straight edge up to the straight edge on this side and cut 5 centimeters. Same here. and the third side, right along the edge. This keeps you from having to measure over and over and over again. They need to be pretty accurate. You don't have to cut like a perfectly straight line. It just has to be super close. All right. The only thing that I do have that I have in this box are they have these little cutout areas that you can push through to use as handles. So what I like to do just for extra protection is put a piece of tape on the inside and the outside just to protect those handles from being punctured through. You can even go across it if you want to, just to be double sure. All right, so now we're going to make our next score for our painting. So here's our 18-inch painting. Now we have just enough to fold up on both edges. And the key with shipping larger paintings with the post office is to keep it under 4 inches. 3 to 4 inches is the, if you can keep it at that, you will keep the cost down to the minimum of whatever shipping a large painting will cost. If you get over 4 inches, they charge way more for 5, 6, 7 inches. It gets more expensive in shipping. So I like to keep my boxes for a painting at 2 to 3 inches deep. Is the way I like to do it. So what I do is I just put my bubble wrap around and I measure it like I showed you. And then I know it's not going to move around inside the box. It's going to be nice and secure because it's going to fit this box perfectly by the time I finish cutting it. Okay? So now we take a pin and we mark about, a half an inch, quarter of an inch along the edge of that bubble wrap. We clear the bubble wrap just enough. And then I take my ruler, and I can also see the corrugated area of the cardboard. I can see the stripes. So that also helps me kind of see a line. So I'm going to very lightly score. So that will be my first fold. And then I need one more fold for it to come over the top again. So again, 5 centimeters is what we need. So we only measured that one time to get the 5 centimeters, and then we use that measurement for all the sides and all the folds. I hope that makes sense. And again, you can draw the line if you need to. If you can't see where you need to score it, then just draw it with your pen or pencil, whatever you're using. Again, I'm going to score lightly. I'm not pressing all the way through. I'm just cutting the top surface of the cardboard. All right. So now we can fold this way. We press, and now we can fold this way. So we've taken a 4-sided box that was 18 by 22 inches. So it was going to be a big square. If we had shipped this painting in that big, big box, it would have cost a fortune. But now I have made my box fit my painting perfectly. So what I do now is sometimes I'll cut off just a little bit of the extra cardboard that overlaps. I don't even measure it or anything. I just cut off a little extra just for weight purposes. But see, it still overlaps plenty. I still give myself at least 3 to 4 inches of overlap. All right. So now we're going to take our tape, and I leave my painting inside the box so it's nice and firm. And I tape right down the center. Right along that seam. That's my first piece. Then I'm going to come over a little bit, tape over the edge of the other piece of tape, and do the same thing on this side. This is just to be doubly sure that this seam is not going to pop open during shipping or anything like that. Then I take a few pieces and I go across just for extra strength. I'll do about 3. That just gives you extra strength to make sure that this does not come apart at all during shipping, okay? Now, we have both sides that are gonna fold down perfectly over this canvas. The one thing we do have to make sure is to make sure that if you need to move your canvas out so that there's no chance of cutting into the canvas, you just need to make sure that your 4 corners are cut so that they'll fold in properly. So I'm going to make sure all 4 of my edges are cut because I had to make the folds and therefore they're not cut and ready-made like they typically would be. So I'm going to cut down to my fold here and down to here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it just needs to be kind of on the square. Here's one of those handles that you can push in. So I'm going to make sure and tape over it. I'm going to go lengthwise too, just for extra strength to make sure that nobody pushes that handle through during shipment. The other handle is already covered up with the tape here in the middle, so it's good. So now we just take those 2 end pieces and fold them in. Actually, this is the bottom of the box, so we fold it up first. And then we fold the top down. And if you're doing it by yourself, sometimes you need spare hands. So what I do is I get a piece of tape and I go over from the front really tight down across and down, and that kind of holds it in place for you to get it secure. So I have one seam. This was where the original fold of the box was, right here. I'm going to make sure to tape over that really well. We don't want any open areas of the box at all. And then I'm going to do one more here. So I always do at least 2 on the end, 1 in the middle, or a couple in the middle. If there's any opening that I need to cover up, I'll tape it. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape here. It's a lot of taping, but you're just making sure it's extra secure. And then the final thing I'll do on this side of the box is I'll start somewhere in the middle near the edge. I go all the way around the box and come back and cross over where I started. So that's nice and safe and tight. Now I can slip my penny back in. Fold in the ends like that. So now It is totally secure and taped up nice and tight. Okay? Now I'll show you what I do next. Always round up. So if it's under so many inches, you round up to the next. But this is 19 inches. This is a little over 25, so I'm going to round up to 26. It is 2 inches deep right here. So 19 by 26 by 2. I have a little scale. Turn it on and let it zero out. So I'm going to have to lay it down on top of the scale. After it beeps, we go to Google and we pick USPS shipping calculator. Over here we pick calculate your shipping cost and make sure it's USPS.com. Click on that. You put your beginning zip code, the zip code you're shipping to, which is 23834. And let's say today it's after 5 o'clock on the 27th, so I'm going to ship it tomorrow. I'm going to change it to tomorrow's date, but that's not important. This is just to figure out a price. You don't have to worry about the time. You're going to click on calculate a price because this is not a flat rate box and it's not envelopes or postcards. So you click on calculate a price and then you put in the pounds, 3 pounds, 5 ounces, and then it's going to be a package, but it's a large package because it says over 12 inches. If your dimensions, any side of your package is over 12 inches, you click on this box, and then here you put your length, the longest measurement you have, which is 26. The height of the measurement was 2 inches. And then the width was 19. Continue. Now, it's going to pull up your prices. And right here, I'm shipping it. I always ship everything priority mail today. You get $50 insurance with it. And if you need to add insurance, you can. But look at the price. $9.20. Okay? Now, if you did it express, it would be $28, which I never ship it express. And then media means like magazines and books. You can't ship it that way. So you can ship this 18 by 24 canvas that weighs 3.5 pounds in a 19 by 26 inch box for $9.20 right there. See? And so you can create an account if you want to on USPS.com to actually print your shipping label. You don't have to do that. Let me go back to USPS.com. I do want to show you. If you go to Postal Store and then go down to Shipping Supplies, it will bring up this screen and you can just scroll through and find whatever size priority mail box that you need. But let me just show you, if it says you don't want priority mail express, you're going to pay big bucks for that. You always want just a priority mail box, and you don't want the regional rate boxes either. Let me show you. Like here's a flat rate box. You end up sometimes on those paying way more when you use one of their medium flat rate boxes, or any flat rate box for that matter. So you don't want to use regional rate boxes or flat rate boxes. You want to pick out just a regular priority mail box. And I will, again, in the link below the video, I will post the measurement of the box that I use for the smaller canvases that I was telling you about at the beginning of the video, like a couple of 8 by 10s, 11 by 14s, a couple of 12 by 12s. they will ship perfectly in the size box that I'm going to recommend. So I'll put the measurements, and if I can get a direct link to this, you can order it and you can get 25 in a pack or 50 or 100, and it's totally free. The post office ships it to your address, totally free. It's a free service they offer, so take advantage of it. So I hope this video helped you. Let me just say, let your day be filled with joy. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.